is it? A little bit of contact there from Scott. He muscles his way past.
Contact.
Look at the back. Muggleton just has to cross over this crest. He will cross the line and will win the championship.
Hello, race fans, and welcome to the V8 Supercars America Series presented by V8s Online. I'm JD Smith. With me tonight will be Kane Kraft as we get ready to head out for some V8 Supercars action here in the America Series. Once again, we are getting ready to close out on our final quarter of the season here as we head to VIR, also known as Virginia International Raceway, for 23 laps. And what is sure to be as entertaining as what we've seen in the past few weeks, Kane, we're in for another treat. It has been more than we ever could have asked for as far as competition goes this series. It has been a very tight race up at the top of the point standings, and it's going to continue to get even closer as we continue throughout tonight's event. Really looking forward to getting out towards the grid. How are you, buddy?
I'm good. Exactly like you said, the points race has been really close, especially these top two positions. 1 point separates Shaun Kelly and Marlon McMullen coming into this race 10 of the series. Ethan Grigg-Gault, though, has made one heck of a charge up to the front. Now less than 200 points separate him from these top two guys, and with 3 races left, that is possible for him to catch those 200 points and be up here running for the championship. So we could have a 3-way battle for the top.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, Kane. And with, all that remains is Virginia International Raceway, Sonoma, and Phillip Island. This is going to be one heck of a treat. Some of the guys that are up at the top, the two that are at the top, Shaun Kelly and Marlon McMullen, each one of those have what I call a bogey track. It's really tough for them. So they could have a rough day ahead. And looking at Ethan Grigg-Gault, really don't know what his weaknesses are. He's a new driver. Maybe I guess that could be his weakness. But really, he has a shot at this thing. Now, he's going to have to really step up his game and maybe hope for a little bit of help from the other two. But I tell you what, man, he has been unbelievable. For a new guy in the series, he has stepped in here like nobody's business, and really somebody everybody can kind of root for. If you're watching the race and don't really have somebody to root for, you're new to the broadcast, that is definitely somebody I would want to root for. Definitely going to watch him today. Going to be fun in Virginia International Raceway. Haven't been here in a while, it feels like, Kane. Maybe it just feels that way for some weird reason, but we haven't been here in a little while.
No, I think we were here last season, but aside from that, we hadn't been here in a while. It had been quite a while since we've been to Virginia before last season.
That is true. I forgot about last season, but I guess before that, it's just been a while since we've been here. And perhaps I missed the Virginia race. Maybe that's why it feels that way. But, man, I tell you what, it is a unique track, and some of the drivers really love this place. Me, on the other hand, perhaps when I'm behind the wheel, I have a very difficult time at this track. It's very narrow. It's hard to pass. But a lot of the guys really love it. Why do you think that is?
It's one of those tracks that are very similar to Atlanta, where you really got to get up on the curbs. You really got to drive this track hard, and it really kind of shows off this V8 Supercar in a way that a few tracks really do. You really have to be aggressive on the curbs, and it's really a flowing track. It's got those fast speed S turns that you have to go through, and but the backstretch coming back around to get onto that straightaway to the finish line, it's just challenging. This track is difficult. It's a lot of fun because it posts so many challenges, and the terrain is very hilly, and it's just a pretty track to race around. I think that's why the guys that like it because it is kind of challenging, but at the same time there's a lot of guys that don't really care for this track.
I would be on that fence, but I tell you what, if you're a V8 Supercar sim racer, then you do like a challenge. This is a challenging car. When you put a challenging car on a challenging track, you really have your hands full, and that is what these guys are going to have tonight. Now, they have been practicing all week, getting things prepared for this race, setups adjusted. Teams have been working hard together. Some of the privateers out there have been having to do a lot of work, maybe getting some help from an outside source, really getting ready for this one tonight. 23 laps is all we're going to have. And I say that it's going to be a nice-sized race, but shouldn't have to worry about any type of running out of fuel, I don't believe. I think we'll be okay. And guys are already out qualifying, Kane, so let's take a look at our qualifying and how things are going. Currently at the top of the table, it is the point leader, Marlon McMullen, in the Grip TV Nation Holden. And that is great for now. Now, we still have plenty of time left in qualifying. We've only been live for 5 minutes and 43 seconds in counting. And so still a lot of time. Some guys haven't had a chance to put times up, one of those being Shaun Kelly, who's only 1 point back in the points. And so we'll be excited to see where he's going to be able to post his starting time. There is 13 cars in this top split today.
Yeah, the race looked like we were going to have a great big split of 25 cars. That's the maximum allowed, and then they'll split the field in half, and that's exactly what happened. We end up hitting that 26th car, which split the field in half, and so 13 cars got sent to a second split, and we've got a 13-car top split today, which means we don't got a whole lot of cars on the track, which might be a good thing for this track and its difficulty level.
You know, I didn't say anything at the intro to this broadcast, but I would like to do so now. I want to wish everybody a happy Memorial Day weekend. It is kicking off tonight, and very excited for that. I want to wish everybody, it says the Americas Series, so it's a Memorial Day weekend here in the Americas. I wonder if that's why we have kind of two smaller splits tonight. But yet, very competitive fields at that. A lot of big names in this that you see every week here in the top split. Right now, Marlon McMullen still able to hold on to that top spot. Now, Shaun Kelly is out on a flying lap. Back in second. Look who we have in the series tonight. I want to welcome Madison Down, Kane, in the number 1 machine. He's got the second fastest time with a 1:45.9. He's only 0.02 of a second slower than our pole sitter.
Good catch. I didn't see Madison in here. It's I always love it when Madison joins us in the America Series for a race. He's, I think, 8-time champion of the V8 Supercars official series. And
That's insane.
He's an outstanding driver. No matter what car they put Madison in, of course. We got the Race of Champions coming up here in just a couple weeks. And in that series, they always put these guys in different cars. They don't tell them what car they're going to be racing in until just before the race. And Madison, they throw him in all kinds of different cars, and he really shows the level of skill that a lot of these top drivers have. He can get in just about anything. He could drive a phone book around this track and still bring it home at the front of the field.
All right, and Shaun Kelly is the only car left that has not posted a time. Now, I'm watching him very closely in the TTR Holden to see when he crosses that finish line to see what time posts up on the board. But currently, he is the only car without a qualifying time. Remember, if you get an off track on your flying lap, that lap time is invalid. So he'll have to go around and do it again. I believe he's okay on this lap, and he should be posting a time here any second. In fact, let's see what happens. And Shaun Kelly will start in 4th as of now. So a 4th place run for Shaun Kelly. Now, if he's not happy with that time, he's got to immediately head back out. And that is exactly what the number 3 TTR Holden is doing, because there is only 3 minutes left, just under 3 minutes left in qualifying. As you see in your screen right there, Marlon McMullen just passed Shaun Kelly. He's going to try to improve his time. Even though he's a pole, he's still out there running laps. He knows Madison Down's out there, and it's only 200ths off pace. And right now, Madison is on a flying lap.
Yes, he is. So Marlon's definitely going to want to try to get another lap in, because Madison's going to be doing his very best to knock that 145.9 off the podium. Of course, a 145.9 is an outstanding lap from Marlon McMullen. it's rare to see these guys get into the 145. So for him to come out and set that 145 so quickly was fantastic.
Oh, it's incredible. And right below them, Ethan Grigg-Gault, he just missed out on the 145 range with a 146.0. And very, very impressive time. He is currently third. Now, the importance, a lot of people at home are probably wondering why we're worried about who's finishing on the pole versus second. They're both going to be on the front row, yes, but it's all about getting that inside line down into turn one. These two are probably considering they both get off to a good start, Madison and Marlon, considering those are the ones starting at the top. Madison crossing the line now.
Madison does take over that number one spot with a 145.8.
Yes, he did, and but that is very important now. Madison will be on that inside line. He'll have the advantage going into turn one. Like I said, assuming they both get good starts, they will be neck and neck down into turn one. That inside line will prevail. And if you can get out front here on a track that's tough to pass, you are in a good position to win this thing. All right, guys, 1 minute is left. We are on the final minute of qualification here at Virginia International Raceway. Kane, some guys really want to improve on their lap times.
Marlon just pulled off, so Marlon's going to accept. Wait, Marlon crossed the line and beat out Madison down again for that pole position, and I didn't see it. I switched to Marlon right after he exited the track.
1,000th of a second, the closest a time can possibly be. Take a snapshot of the screen. 1,000th of a second, guys, is the time difference on that, with a 145.801 for McMullen and a 145.802 for Madison down. That is extremely close. We are down to 10 seconds left in qualifying, guys, and I don't think anybody's going to be able to change that. What a job from Marlon McMullen with a 1,000 second quick pole time. That is insane.
Ethan Grigg-Gault is going to have one final opportunity to surpass that and take over the pole. Ethan has come in here and taken a couple pole positions throughout the last few races, and it's possible that he could get this one. He is on par to put in a really good lap, but man, those two laps, the 145.8 is going to be really tough.
Yeah, watching the number 5 Sim Pit Holden. He's going to get ready to cross the line right here, Kane, and does. Let's see what happens for him. It's not going to do. It's a 146.03. That is improved his time, but not by much, and that will keep him in third. Good job from the Sim Pit machine, and he will start on the inside line of row 2. Let's get ready to look at our rundown here. It is Marlon McMullen by 1,000th of a second as your pole sitter. In second place, it will be Madison down. In third, it's going to be Ethan Grigg-Gault. On the outside of that second row will be Shaun Kelly starting fourth. Fifth will be Mitch McLeod. Michael Fulcher will be starting sixth. Martin Carroll seventh. Mathew Ross-munro eighth. Ninth, Michael Cracknell. Richard Aylward will be starting 10th, 11th, Rory Windrum, Wayne Kendall 12th, and the final car on the 13-car field will be the number 9 machine of Kevin Bouhalassa. Kane, we're getting ready to go racing here for 23 laps in just a moment as the guys get gridded up.
Yeah, man, how about that qualifying time? 1,000th of a second. That is just unbelievable.
Man, I mean, I saw his name go to the top of the board, and then when I looked over at the time, it just blew my mind. I couldn't believe how close that was, unbelievably close. And looking at some of the names in this series, I'm seeing down at the bottom, Mr. Bo Cattell connected, but I don't think he's going to be in the field tonight, which is sad. I wish he was racing in the field.
Yeah, he's connected to the watch server. Maybe race or track that he's not quite comfortable with, or just maybe didn't get enough practice through the week. He's watching the race tonight, and he's on the YouTube channel watching as well, but not in here racing. So that's kind of a disappointment, because I enjoy watching every race that Bo's been a part of. He's definitely puts on a great race for us to watch.
That he does. And like I said, all the guys are getting loaded up and getting ready to start this one. The lights will be getting crunked up here soon. So 23 big laps here. I guess we could call this kind of a sprint run tonight.
Revs are up, the lights are on. The green light's on, and we go racing here at Virginia International Raceway for round 10 of the V8 Supercars America Series.
All right, guys, off the guns. It is the Grip TV Nation Holden who has the lead. And back in second place, Ethan Grigg-Gault made a good jump from third as he's able to get around Madison Down back there in third. There is a battle for fifth right now, and it is between Michael Fulcher and Martin Carroll. Martin Carroll with a great jump from the start. He'll fall in single file as the two sim pit machines carry forward.
Madison Down with a little bit of a slide there around that first turn. That put him back into the third position, allowed Ethan to get a little bit of pace on him and get that second position. But he'll slip back in line there and get right behind Ethan, and we'll see Madison probably challenging a little bit further on in the laps to follow. This is going to be a great race here for those front positions.
Down to contend with behind him as they both try to run down the point leader, Marlon McMullen. Also in the picture is the TTR machine of Shaun Kelly, and he's not far behind Madison Down there.
Do want to make a correction there that Shaun Kelly is actually the points leader coming into this race. He's leading by one little point.
One little point. Don't hold it against us that we announced it wrong. Let's put it this way. They're close enough to be tied where no matter what position they're on the track, it makes a difference.
Absolutely.
And right now, Marlon technically would be your point leader at the positions they run.
That is true. Yeah, whoever finishes ahead of the other one at the finish of this race is definitely going to take over that number one spot.
Oh, right now, here comes the karting Sydney machine down to the inside. It is Madison Down making it work on Ethan Grigg-Gault. They're nose to nose, and now it looks like Madison Down will go back up into second place in the Ultimate Karting Sydney Holden. A great move from the number one machine.
Shaun Kelly is right there as well. Looked like he was going to try to take advantage as well, but he slipped back in line behind Ethan Grigg-Gault. We're going to see Shaun Kelly put the pressure on here on Ethan as well probably in the next lap or so.
Back there in the little pack behind this top pack is a good little run between Michael Fulcher, Marty Carroll, Mitch McLeod in there, and Mike Cracknell all involved there. So 4 through 8, you have a great group as well. It's led by Fulcher, and I tell you what, enjoying that. Back in the third pack, as they've kind of broken away into 3 different packs. And that third pack is a good group of guys too. Richard Elward has Mathew Ross-munro to contend with right now. That is the battle for 9th. And then behind them, it's Rory Windrum, and then spaces out with Kevin Bouhalassa, Wayne Kendall in the rear. That is how the entire field runs, guys, as they all try to chase down Marlon McMullen in the lead.
Marlon's starting to run away from those guys just a little bit.
Well,
but he's got Madison Down right behind.
That's what I was
got a little bit of a draft. He's going to reel that in coming down this straightaway.
Madison Down has already caught up to him that fast. He broke away and got around the sim pit machine there of Ethan Grigg-Gault and really got some fresh air on that Ultimate Karting Sydney machine and got right up there with the leader. And it's going to be fun to watch these two. Madison really attacked that curb there. Thought he was going to flip that TTR machine, but kept all 4 wheels down. They are bumper to bumper heading down the front stretch here at VIR. Madison's going to look to the inside and go for the lead. The battle's going to head down all the way into the first turn here, and it looks like Madison will complete another textbook pass. What a beautiful job there from Madison Down to take the lead here.
Yeah, that was fantastic to not only reel in Marlon McMullen, but then to get around him so quickly. And, of course, Marlon not probably interested in fighting too awful much because, of course, his battle is for the championship, and he's battling with Shaun Kelly, who is behind him at the moment. So he's going to want to stay ahead of Shaun, but he's not going to want to battle with someone else too awful much and risk damage that could cost him that position of being in front of Shaun Kelly.
Boy, good looks right here from Madison Down, trying to get a little bit of space put in between him and Marlon McMullen. And I tell you what, Kane, we haven't seen this Ultimate Karting Sydney machine out front in fresh air all race, so it's going to be exciting to see how well he does in that fresh air. Now, Marlon is still putting up a lot of pressure here. He's trying to hang with Madison at all costs, and he's doing a pretty good job, only about a car length behind, so not too bad there from Marlon McMullen.
Well, watching these guys all week long, Marlon has had some super pace all week long. He's set the fastest times all week, so he is as fast as Madison. As far as the times go, of course, in race trim, things are always a little different, and Madison just seems to bring something else to the table when it comes race time. And he seems to be doing that today as he's starting to pull away from Marlon. But I know that Marlon does have that pace to keep up with Madison if things all fall into place.
A little bit of an announcement. Michael Folger has fallen back 2 positions. He was in 5th place, has fallen to 7th. Martin Carroll takes over the 5th position, and following him is the torque holding of Mitchell McLeod. So something to keep our eye on there. The battle for 5th will contend here in a little bit. Martin Carroll looking really good back there in 5th.
Yeah, Mick Cracknell back in 8th. He's a driver that we've seen have some outstanding races this season. This season he's just brought so much extra pace to the series. It's really probably one of the most improved drivers of the season, Michael Cracknell.
Loving the Mad Cow racing machine of Richard Elward. And it's a different, updated Mad Cow look with the orange and blue is what I'm showing anyhow. And he's looking really good right now in 9th place, as he has a tough opponent in Mathew Ross-munro in the SDRT Falcon right behind him. They're going bumper to bumper now, and it looks like a little look to the inside from Monroe, but not going to be enough room there. A little bit of a bump to the back bumper there, a bump and run, but the problem is bump and fall from the 12 car. The SDRT did not get the move he wanted there. I think that was a very unintentional bump there because he backed off tremendously after.
Yeah, that turn around the big oak tree is just a tough turn to just get just right to where you can get that pace coming out of the turn. I will say it's kind of nice to see the Mad Cow guys going back to the traditional orange and blue of the Overclockers Australia colors. The Overclockers Australia is the team that kind of changed into the Mad Cow Racing team. And to see them go back to the orange and blue of the Overclockers Australia is kind of nice.
It is at that, Kane. A battle for the lead has commenced. A little bit of a look to the inside from the Grip TV machine of Marlon McMullen, but nothing was there. A good opportunity, though, to at least try, and he is hanging with the leader very well. Madison down off the track. That's going to cost him side by side for a moment, but immediately somehow down gets back out in the lead and does not allow for the Grip TV machine to come side by side with him for any trouble. Very good recovery from the number 1 car of Madison down. He'll continue to lead this thing, but the top 4 cars are piling up. At least the top 3 are all there as Ethan Grigg-Gault in the picture, and our point leader Shaun Kelly back in 4th, and not far at all. They're all in contention to win this thing. Remember, there are 23 laps. We're only on lap number 5 of those 23 laps, so a lot can happen. We got a lot more racing here today, guys.
Oop, a little bump there from Marlon going into the oak tree. I've seen him take those the S curves, just a little like over aggressive. A slowdown penalty is not something Marlon can afford here, because if one slowdown could definitely cost him position to Shaun Kelly.
Here comes down side by side. Marlon McMullen's going to go to the lead, and it's going to look like Marlon's got it, but as they head into turn 1, the inside will be with Madison down. That could hurt McMullen. It does. Here comes Ethan Grigg-Gault. Marlon McMullen finally gets back in single file to save 2nd place. Very, very good move there from Marlon McMullen. Just ran out of track to make his move.
Yeah, this track is so hard to pass on. He's got to take it where he can get it, and he just didn't quite have enough there, but definitely got intense there for a second.
Wow, very, very impressive racing from both Madison Down and Marlon McMullen there. Marlon put in a nice move, just ran out of track. A good job from Madison Down defending. And the newcomer right there, the number 5 machine of Ethan Grigg-Gault right there in the mix. He says, let those two come together, and I'll just take the lead away from him, and that's okay with him. Really impressive job from these front 4 cars, Kate. They have run away from the rest of the field, really put a gap. It kind of separates the top from the rest, and very, very good job. Back in the next car, in fact, from Shaun Kelly is Martin Carroll, and Martin Carroll has Mitchell McLeod to contend with as Mitchell's starting to come into the picture. Now, Marty has a really good pace, and his lap times look very well, but Mitch McLeod's are a tenth faster, so he is just etching ever so closer to Martin Carroll. Now, a little bit of a connection issue from Mitch, straightened out real quick, but always something to be concerned with here in the world of sim racing. The front 4 heading down here and following Madison down as he has about a car length and a half lead gap over Marlon McMullen. That ended as soon as I said it. Here comes Marlon McMullen, a very aggressive turn, very nice from the Grip TV Nation machine as he is right back within about a half a car length of our leader. And this is going to be a battle to contend for quite some time, it looks like. We got us a treat on our hands, guys. As we start lap number 7 of that 23, this front 4 cars is still at amazement with me. Right now, everybody following the #1 Ultimate Karting Sydney machine of Madison down. He continues to be the leader now. He started second, fell back to third, and then he made an amazing move to jump back up into second, and then an even more impressive pass around the leader, Marlon McMullen, to take the lead, and has led ever since. If you're just joining us, we'd like to welcome you here to our final week 10, I guess we would say, week 10 of our V8's America's Season 2 season. We only have 2 races remaining after today, and this has already been an amazing start to this race. I feel it's only going to get better as your front runners continue to impress. Really good time to do a quick rundown. It won't take long as we only have 13 cars in the top split tonight, guys. And up in the lead, of course, Madison down, Marlon McMullen in second, third, Ethan Grigg-Gault. Shaun Kelly currently in the 4th position. Marty Carroll rounds out that top 5. Mitch McLeod is battling hard in 6th. 7th goes to Michael Fulcher. Mike Cracknell in 8th. Mathew Ross-munro is in 9th. 10th goes to Rory Windrum. 11th belongs to Kevin Bouhalassa at the moment. There's a little battle brewing between those two. And back in behind him, it's Richard Elward, who's in the 12th position. And finally, Wayne Kendall brings up the back of the pack. Not too far back, though, and I love it. He's in the Oricon Steel Ford Falcon. That battle, I want to make a correction, is actually between Richard Elward and Kevin Bouhalassa. And SP Tools holding there of Kevin Bouhalassa is doing really good to keep Richard Elward at bay. Very good battle.
Yeah, something happened with Richard. He fell back a couple positions. He was up there, and I think the 9th or 10th position a couple laps ago. Now he finds himself back in the 11th, 12th position, actually fighting with Kevin, trying to get those positions back, one from Kevin Bouhalassa.
Martin Carroll still doing a fantastic job of hanging on to 5th place. He's been doing really good keeping Mitch McLeod behind him in the torque holding. And that's a classic Ford holding battle going on right there. That is the battle for 5th place. So a top 5 position is up in the air. And Martin Carroll doing everything he can to make sure he doesn't give that away.
On board with Mitchell McLeod as we just went through those high-speed S-turns, I guess what you would call them. And now around the oak tree. This track is just so much fun to watch, but man, is it difficult to drive.
It is, and when you're watching it, it looks a lot wider than when you're driving, that's for sure. But it still is a narrow track compared to some of the places that we go. And as you're looking on board, Mitchell McLeod trying to catch Marty Carroll up there in the Sim Pit Falcon. And really weird curves here. They're gray. And so you think they're like almost a road at times, and then you look, they got, I don't know, it's just a different feel to me. This track has always had a different feel to me than other tracks, and I've always struggled a lot here. Some guys are very, very successful here, though.
Marlon McMullen taking that distance down between him and Madison Down as he went in real heavy on the brakes and was able to take some of that distance down, but Madison Down answered with some great speed off the corner and started to pull right back away from Marlon.
Yeah, still an impressive battle between the top four, as it's just remained very close. Now, Shaun Kelly is, I'd like to think he's keeping a safe distance. He's not, he's definitely still in the picture, but not too far off. And so he's at a distance where he could get up there and battle for third, second, or even the lead at some point in this race. You never know what can happen. Even with these two very, very fast cars up in the front that are the big show between Madison Down and Marlon McMullen. Very impressive. Ethan Grigg-Gault right there as well. And Shaun Kelly, don't forget, he is the point leader going into this race. So if they finish like they ran, boy, that would just make it even tighter. It'd put Marlon McMullen on top for the after 10 weeks, with just 2 races remaining. But so much can happen, Kane, as we're only on lap 9 of 23.
Yeah, and the points advantage that Marlon would get from just finishing those 2 positions ahead of Shaun is not going to be that significant. And we know that Phillip Island is one of the tracks coming up that Marlon struggles with, but Shaun Kelly is quite good at. So this championship is still very much open.
Oh, it's insane. That, you got to think that's our final race, and that is a big, 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 big advantage for Shaun Kelly in that aspect. If you're Marlon McMullen, as he goes bumper to bumper with the leader, we'll keep an eye on that as we talk. But if you're Marlon McMullen, I think you got to be spending as much time as possible working on Phillip Island, getting ready for that final week. You don't want to overlook Sonoma, but you've really got to prepare for that final week, because just history shows those two will go into that final race neck and neck with the points. And basically, I promise you, Kane, it's going to end up with whoever finishes higher will probably take the championship on that final race at Phillip Island. So if I am Marlon McMullen, I am definitely putting as much work as I can in getting ready for that final week at Phillip Island. You're not going to want to miss that race, guys. It's going to be outstanding. And that's only in 2 weeks' time. Don't miss us next week at Sonoma. But that finale, this is going to be one that you're not going to want to miss.
And unfortunately, I think they might miss it because I will be out of town that week. But we will come back with a highlights package or some kind of, maybe a delayed broadcast, something, because I hate missing that last race, and I don't want to.
Man, that is sad. Oh, dang.
I think I'm for sure taking the tablet with me, so I think we're going to come up with a way we can at least do a radio broadcast of it or something.
I was about to say, if I could just find a way to get on the air, I'll do something, a radio broadcast or something. We'll figure something out. If not, we'll do a delayed broadcast. It'll just be really awesome. Or we could do like a end of the season review show or something with some highlights. All right, coming down here, Madison Down is putting on a heck of a performance. He has been dealing with quite a bit of pressure from the Grip TV Nation machine of Marlon McMullen, and seems to show no sign of getting shaken at all. He has remained. Oh, there's a little bit of a shimmer or shake there from Madison Down, and I had a bigger reaction than what happened there. But you got to remember, sometimes when the car does that, some of the drivers get loose. And that's all the mistake a driver in second needs to get around him. So very fortunate job there from Madison Down to remain in the lead. No problem. You know what I've noticed about Madison, watching him race, just from the few times he comes to visit in the Americas Series, Kane, if he makes a mistake, it doesn't cost him like it does other drivers. He is so good at recovering from his mistakes, which are few and far between. But when he does have a mistake, man, he really does recover very quickly, and it's almost like you don't even notice. And when other drivers have those mistakes, it costs them. That's the difference. Here they go side by side down into turn one. Now it's going to be troublesome for Marlon McMullen because he'll be on the outside, and he won't have enough track. He didn't have the momentum either. Oh, good move down on the inside. He tried something there. He tried to hug the curb, and it almost paid off for the Grip TV machine. He is trying anything and everything to get back up there in the lead. Now, he's got to be careful. He doesn't want to overdo it and end up losing this top 2 position. So he's trying to get up there, get in the lead. They're getting ready to start lap number 12. And what a race we have, guys. Heading down into turn 1. It's another great push from the number 2 machine of Marlon McMullen. And guys, he has taken the lead momentarily. Oh, he hit a patch of grass in the curb, and that may cost him. They're going to remain side by side, and it's a race down into turn 2, and it's going to go back to Madison down. In fact, it pushes Marlon McMullen wide, and that could cost him another valuable half a second.
Yeah, he lost traction coming out of that turn, slid the rear of the car around, and really lost traction. That allowed Madison to regain the position that Marlon had just got on him. So a little bit of mistake there from Marlon allows Madison to regain the lead.
Boy, he did everything right and then had a small mistake, and you saw just how much it cost him. And because I'll be honest, he had that pass, I thought, completed, and just at the wrong time he had a little slip, and it was just enough to hold him back in second. Very, very entertaining race here, guys, coming around the oak tree now. And let's see what happens if Marlon tries to regroup and get back up there. He's still right there with our leader, Madison Down. Has been contending with this pressure for a long time, and it's not just pressure from Marlon McMullen. He also sees the sim pit machine of side-by-side action and not enough momentum from Marlon McMullen there to make anything happen just yet. Keep your eyes peeled, though. And but he's also thinking about Ethan Grigg-Gault and even Shaun Kelly back there. His window is full of V8 Supercars.
We have seen Marlon McMullen get a pass down here on this backside of the track through those final set of S-curves. A couple seasons ago, we seen him have an outstanding pass back there, and we seen him try to do that same move on Madison just a couple laps ago. He didn't quite get it done, but it did look impressive. I think we'll see him have another opportunity on Madison here before this race is over, but it's definitely going to get intense. We should go back and check on Martin Carroll. He was having a great battle with Mitch McLeod a little earlier. He's still out in front of Mitch McLeod, about a 0.8 seconds ahead of Mitchell for that 5th position.
Man, I cannot take my eyes off these front 2 cars. They are continuing to put on a show for us up here, and I just don't understand. They are flying.
Watching these guys in practice over the last week, like I said, Marlon has had such great pace, and did get to see Madison a little bit out doing some practicing, and they were just so close on pace that it's showing right here how close those guys actually were. This is some outstanding racing.
All right, here we go, guys. Another opportunity. It's not enough. All right, here's where he tries to make that move to the inside. He tried to hug the curb last time. It almost worked for him. Didn't try it this time. Oh, just not enough. Fantastic job from Madison Down up front, man. Really good. He's starting lap number 14. Remember, guys, 23 laps is what we're racing to tonight. And here comes Madison Down on the defense here as he sees the Grip TV machine coming up. And Ethan Grigg-Gault, and that's the thing, Marlon McMullen may have to start a little defense mode of himself as Ethan Grigg-Gault starts to kind of close in and inch his way towards these two as Madison begins to battle with the leader. It's bringing in Ethan Grigg-Gault. He's right there as well. So, like I said, you get this Grip TV machine up here with this Ultimate Karting Sydney machine. They get together. Here's Ethan Grigg-Gault to make the bypass and take the lead. It's happened before.
Absolutely. I was going to say the same thing. They get up there battling, and it slows their pace down just enough that could allow that door to open for the sim pit holding of Ethan Grigg-Gault to just get a nose in there. And if that happens, he could definitely sneak one of those positions out. Around the oak tree here in Virginia, Still Madison down in the lead. Marlon McMullen in second. Ethan Grigg-Gault in third. And Shaun Kelly still holding on, still keeping pace with those guys for fourth. He has slipped off just a few car lengths, but he's still right there. If anything happens, he could still end up with one of those positions.
Here's an opportunity coming up for Madison down. I mean, not Madison down, pardon me, guys. For Marlon McMullen. Let's see if he can make anything happen. He's got to get a little bit closer. He's been a little bit further off than what he has been the past few laps. So let's see if he can kind of inch back in a little bit closer to Madison. Madison trying to put a little bit of daylight in between the two, get a little breathing room, which he's well earned and deserved. And start of lap 15 right here, guys. And things are going to start heating up real quick as we get closer to the end of this one.
That draft is just so effective down that front stretch that it's just so hard for Madison to pull away, because Marlon gets such a great draft. He's able to reel in by the end of that front stretch, reel him right back in, and get right back on his bumper for this run down the S-turns.
Well, it's the natural DRS system. I mean, it's a natural drag reduction system. In Formula One, they get this opportunity on long straightaways. You know, they don't have all the body of a car, so they get that back wing, and that DRS opens up the back wing to reduce drag and lets air through. It's like hitting a draft, and it's you know, incredible. So when these big old cars, they're facing all that wind, and they pop in behind another big car, it's like a wall in front of them that blocks all the air, they get so much more horsepower, and they get to move right on up to the back end. And that's what we've been seeing with Marlon McMullen. He'll come up on side by side, and he's just not had enough room. He runs out of track. It's like they timed out this track perfect, and that goes back to what we opened up with our broadcast with, Kane, when you were talking about the track and why a lot of the guys love it, is because it's just a great car-track combo. This V8 Supercar really does well here, and it's like this track was designed for this car. Even though it wasn't, it just fits like a glove.
Kevin Bouhalassa and Wayne Kendall still battling for that 11th position of Kevin Bouhalassa. Richard Aylward has fallen back to 13th. He was up there battling Kevin for position a couple laps ago, well, several laps ago now, but has fallen on back to 13th position. That's moved Wayne Kendall up to 12th.
Oh, we got a battle for the lead on down the inside. Marlon McMullen had the inside advantage and somehow wasn't able to take advantage. Very aggressive move there, a clean move, but a very, very intuitive move there from Marlon McMullen. Madison Down did a wonderful job of hanging on to first place there. I thought Marlon had a chance there. I'm going to just rewind my own screen for just a minute. I want to see how he did that. He went side by side so quick. That was a very smart move. In fact, what happened was they were heading down into the turn, and a late break from Marlon McMullen. He actually power slid it a little bit to stay out of Madison Down there. And wow, I don't know if that was intentional, Kane.
Yeah, it may not have been. Yeah, you get such a draft and such extra speed going down that front stretch like that sometimes trying to get it slowed up can be kind of problematic, and the back tires want to lose grip so easily in this car that he could have just lost a little bit of rear end grip, and that could have been what got him up there, and maybe a little bit of a panic moment.
I think you're right. I think it was a panic moment there. And good job, of course, as the guys are all still up there battling. I would be very sad if something happened to this front pack right now, because they are extremely entertaining.
Still got a battle here for 12th as Wayne Kendall bumper to bumper now with Kevin Bouhalassa. Just in a serious battle for that 11th position. So we do have other battles on the track tonight, battling even for the 11th position.
Oh, it's awesome when you got battles all the way through the field. And we got about 7 laps remaining here in our race here in Week 10 of the V8 Americas Series. We want to thank everybody for coming by and watching the broadcast tonight. Remember to like and subscribe. And if you haven't done so already, you need to subscribe to V8's Online, man. It's an incredible If you love sim racing, you need to subscribe, man. They got some awesome broadcasts as well from the V8 Supercars online Premier Series. Check those out as well.
Yeah, the V8's Cops also having a race this weekend, I believe, at Coda.
Oh, you know what? It's Memorial Day weekend, Kane. I'm off work, and, I think I'm going to have to watch that. I may even try to pop my head in and say hey to those guys because it's Memorial Day weekend. It's at Circuit of the Americas. It's just an American kind of weekend. May have to pop in there and show some love to the guys.
I try to stay up or to get up, and I managed to watch bits and pieces of it, but I'm just not awake enough to go into the broadcast booth. So far I haven't been because, when you first wake up and 4 o'clock in the morning, 5 o'clock in the morning, you got that deep, grumbly voice that just don't hardly work. And so I've not popped into the broadcast booth yet, but I have managed to get up and watch each and every race, and man, they are just fantastic.
Boy, I've popped my head in there from the early days of the V8 Scops, and it hurt. I'm not going to lie. That is very bright and early or super late, depending on how you look.
Oh, Marlon, a little sideways. Gets into the corner of Madison Down just
Here
a little
comes
bit.
Ethan Grigg-Gault, guys, side-by-side action. Marlon McMullen is able to hang on to second place momentarily. Here comes Ethan, and it's very close to more fender contact between the two. And that may be the nail in the coffin for Marlon McMullen as far as the win goes. Here comes Ethan Grigg-Gault on the inside. Contact is made. A last-second contact from the Grip TV machine on Ethan Grigg-Gault. Ethan Grigg-Gault pulls up into second and creates single file. That is a beautiful move from Ethan Grigg-Gault to take advantage of a very, very scary situation as contact was made multiple times between Marlon McMullen's Grip TV machine and the sim pit holding there of Ethan Grigg-Gault. Very, very close race. And the problem is, guys, that allowed the daylight that Madison Down needed. These guys are now not in that drafting. They will not have that draft advantage that Marlon McMullen had. And now if Ethan Grigg-Gault can find some pace. Now remember, it's the first time Ethan Grigg-Gault's had a little bit of clean air. Let's see how his machine does in this setup.
Yeah, coming up to 5 laps to go. These guys' tires must be showing some significant wear. We've seen a lot of the rear ends slipping and sliding a little bit. It seems like a lot more on Marlon McMullen's car than the others, but definitely some rear grip issues for these guys coming into these final laps.
Well, it's just amazing to me, Kane. Here's Madison Down. Here's Marlon McMullen. And then here is a guy in Ethan Grigg-Gault who is racing up here with the same pace as Madison Down and Marlon McMullen. And, where did this guy come from? He is an alien. And, it's just unbelievable. Where did he come from? He come from a spaceship.
He's some guys got it, and he's just one of those guys that just got it. He's coming here with just a few months of driving this car and has just been able to compete with some of the best sim racers out there. And he a little loose. That's going to allow Marlon McMullen to get right through, and he's going to take over that position from Ethan Grigg-Gault, put him back in the second position. That's going to open the door for Shaun Kelly to come up there with Ethan Grigg-Gault and try to get that position as well.
Ethan did find his pace and did not allow Shaun Kelly to get around, but now Marlon McMullen back up in second place. And will there be enough time for him to run down Madison Down? That is going to be an extremely tough challenge, and we're going to keep you guys posted. In the meantime, let's see what happens between Marlon McMullen. Still a good battle back in for fifth, as Martin Carroll, very impressed with him today, Kane. The Sim Pit Ford Falcon of Martin Carroll in that number 7 car has done an amazing job of holding on to 5th place. He has been under scrutiny and pressure from Mitchell McLeod and the Torque Holden. They have been right there with him the whole race, and he has been able to do a wonderful job of keeping his composure, keeping calm, cool, and collective, and keeping the Ford out front in front of this 2-car battle. And the Ford Holden battle continues as the Ford Falcon of Marty Carroll out in front there in 5th place. Beautiful job from him so far.
Yeah, the Torque Holden of Mitchell McLeod now closer than it's been all race long to Marty. So Marty's going to end the race with a heck of a battle with Mitchell McLeod.
Oh, it's going to come down to the wire. And like you said, about 4.5 laps remaining here today, guys. And right now, it's still Ethan Grigg-Gault trying to catch up, or that he's caught up. He's ready to pass Marlon McMullen. Can these two forget about their battles for just a moment and catch back up to Madison Down? I hate to say this, but it's going to have to end up being a little bit of a slip up from Madison Down, as this race is definitely in Madison Down's hands now. And when you give Madison Downs a race and leave it up to him, more often than not, he is not going to give you anything.
Yeah, over 2 seconds separate Madison Down and Marlon McMullen. Of course, Marlon's out of his draft now, so that catching up is going to be extraordinarily tough. Like I say, it's going to take some kind of mistake.
A miracle. It's going to take a miracle. If you're Marlon McMullen, that's what you're thinking anyways. Great battle from Ethan Grigg-Gault, though. He's going to look to the inside. Nothing there. So he's going to have to try to hang on and use as much of the draft as he can off of Marlon McMullen's Grip TV Nation machine. And Shaun Kelly been very quiet back there in 4th place. I was thinking he might get up there and make something happen, but I think he's taking the safe route here at VIR. And not that he doesn't want to get up there, because he does, but I think he's just been focused on keeping the car at a good pace for a long time and see what happens. And he's been able to remain up there with these top 3 runners. Now, he'd love to get up there and at least grab a podium spot and try to get around that sim pit machine of Ethan Grigg-Gault there. And that way, at least he finishes 1 spot behind Marlon instead of 2. That's going to be interesting as we get ready to close out the race. Now, Ethan Grigg-Gault trying to peek his nose down on the inside of the Grip TV machine. Nothing is there. He's continuing to work and continuing to try to put some beads of sweat on the forehead of Marlon McMullen.
Tell you what, Shaun Kelly's playing it really smart, and I kind of like his strategy. It's almost paid off for him a couple times. Coming up on the last couple laps, Ethan and Marlon's battle could intensify to such a point where Shaun can end up getting around those guys and end up with the position, as those guys are racing so hard. It's almost worked. He's almost managed to get up there and get around those guys already once. It could happen again.
Now, Kane, it's got to be a glitch, because I'm showing a missed front left corner panel missing from Shaun Kelly's TTR Holden. Is that on your screen as well, or is that just...
Yeah, it's been missing nearly the entire race, so I'm thinking it's correct. I'm thinking that somewhere along the line he's made a little bit of contact with somebody, just enough to knock that fender loose, and yeah, so I think it is correctly drawn.
He could be running with a small bit of damage to the car, and that can hinder your speed tremendously, especially if it makes it a little more difficult to drive. You start sliding a little bit, but I haven't seen that car slide around much. He's just such a good driver. He hides it well. It's hard to tell if his car is driving funny.
Yeah, I think he's just hanging back, just trying to be safe. I think he's staying just enough in the draft that he's able to stay with those guys. And if those guys get in much of a battle and make contact or anything like that, he could sneak out those points, sneak out those positions.
But look at this, guys. The white flag will be out this time by, as the #1 Ultimate Karting Sydney Holden makes his way around the track. Madison Down getting ready to start the final lap here at Virginia International Raceway. And he is wanting to take a victory lap as well, or a burnout one, as he tries to push for the win here. Back in 2nd place as we get ready to head on the final lap. Marlon McMullen hanging on over Ethan Grigg-Gault momentarily. Shaun Kelly in the picture as well. Don't go anywhere. We're going to be starting that final lap in just a second as they go around the oak tree here on lap 22 of 23. And here it is, guys, getting ready. Heading down this long straightaway here. Let's see what happens with Marlon McMullen. Can he hang on as the side-by-side action? Here comes the sim pit machine down on the inside. He's got the pass, Kane. In 2nd place, Ethan Grigg-Gault with a textbook draft and pass right there on Marlon McMullen as we get ready to hit the white flag. This is just what Ethan Grigg-Gault needed. Now, Marlon McMullen has got to get back around if he wants to earn some more points over Shaun Kelly. This is a big gift for Shaun Kelly points-wise. As they start the final lap, the white flag is waving. Marlon McMullen getting ready to try to make a move around the sim pit machine. They're side by side. Here it is on the final lap here at VIR, and it's Ethan Grigg-Gault who's back up in the lead as far as this battle's concerned. Shaun Kelly now trying to get up there and work with Marlon McMullen. What's going to happen? It's the final lap here at VIR, and right now, Marlon McMullen is doing everything he can to try to get around this sim pit machine of Ethan Grigg-Gault.
What a battle. Holy smokes.
It continues, guys, as this is the final lap here at VIR. The Group TV Nation machine has got to find a way to get around Ethan Grigg-Gault. He's got to try to salvage every point he can to try to put as much of a gap he can over Shaun Kelly. As they remember, that Phillip Island race is always in the mind of Marlon McMullen. That is an Achilles heel of his, and he knows it. It's going to come down to that final race, and that is one of the best tracks Shaun Kelly races at. So he knows that. Here we are, the final time around the oak tree today, and it's going to be a big one here. Let's see what happens with Marlon McMullen and Ethan Grigg-Gault, because let me tell you something, Madison Down got this bad boy wrapped up as long as he can keep it on the gray stuff.
Do want to mention the battle we've been watching between Marty Carroll and Mitchell McLeod. Mitchell has got around Marty Carroll a couple laps ago and taken over that fifth position. And
fantastic.
Marty back in sixth.
Well, good run there. Marty held him off for 90% of this race, which is an incredible task. Here we go, guys. Your winner at Virginia International Raceway, Madison Down, takes the checkered flag. Ethan Grigg-Gault second in the final step on the podium. Marlon McMullen, then Shaun Kelly in fourth. Oh, big trouble for Martin Carroll on the final lap. Kane, he doesn't make it to the start-finish line. He's got to throw her in reverse and get back. This is terrible. Oh, no. Marty Carroll, he'll actually only lose one position, it looks like. Yeah, just one position, so it's not as bad as it could have been. But still, oh, man, what a tough break there from the number 7 Sim Pit Falcon, Marty Carroll, who spun her out right before the checkered flag or the finish line. And, boy, that is so unfortunate. That was Michael Fulcher who finished in 6th ahead of him. And so I'm sure he doesn't mind too much as his teammate finished up there. But, wow, what a tough break.
Yeah, just caught that curve just wrong. And, boy, it flipped that car right around.
Had he hit much harder, he may not have been able to finish the race.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, he did hit that barrier going into the pits really hard. But he was able to back it up, get the car going, and get it across the finish line. Only lost the one position to his teammate.
Oh, man, what an incredible broadcast. These guys put on a hell of a show for you, and I'm about to do a rundown, Kane. Madison Down won the race. Really incredible job from him. I mean, what can we say? He had an incredible race, but what helped him have an incredible race was the guy that finished third, which we'll go down there. Here's your rundown. Madison Down victorious here at Virginia International Raceway. An incredible performance from Madison there in the Ultimate Karting Sydney Holden. In second place, it ended up being Ethan Grigg-Gault in the number 5 Sim Pit Racing Holden. In the final spot on the podium, in third place finisher Marlon McMullen in the Grip TV Nation Holden. In fourth place, it went to Shaun Kelly in the TTR Holden. Mitchell McLeod in the Torque Racing Holden. And then down there in sixth place, it goes to Michael Fulcher in the Sim Pit Racing Falcon. Marty Carroll in the Sim Pit Ford Falcon finishes 7th. 8th place goes to Michael Cracknell in the Sim Pit Holden. Mathew Ross-munro in the SDRT Falcon will finish in 9th. In 10th, it went to Rory Windrum in the InnerStrengthProducts.com Holden. Richard Elward finished 11th in the Mad Cow Racing Holden. And Wayne Kendall finishes in 12th in the Oricon Steel Falcon. And finally, the 13th spot goes to the SB Tools Holden of Kevin Bouhalassa. What an incredible night of racing you guys have witnessed here at VIR. Who says you have to have a big field to have an incredibly entertaining race? What a job by 13 drivers out there today, putting on just an incredible show for you guys. And big congrats to Madison Down on taking the victory.
What an unbelievable race. It's just fallen right in line with the other 9 races of the season to just continue on with that intense battling that we've seen throughout the season. It's just been an amazing season this season 2 2015.
Oh yeah, it's just mind-blowing. I thought 2015, I knew it was going to be a great year for racing. Season 1 was so good. I didn't know if it would be topped. Season 2 has definitely topped it already, and we haven't even got to our final 2 races yet, but it has just been week after week, just a continuation of awesome racing. I'll tell you what, guys, it is time for the post-race show. Let's go ahead and bring in our race winner for a quick word. It's always a pleasure to have him here. Madison Down, welcome to the post-race show. How are you, buddy?
Pretty happy after that one, actually. That was very tough in the end there. Had absolutely no tyres left, but yeah, just, I don't know, normally I'm not up early enough to do this race, so I woke up this morning and hadn't played in the simulator since the last Premier Series race, which was roughly 2 weeks ago. So yeah, figured I'd better jump back in the V8, do a few laps, keep my eye in, and yeah, what better place to do it than the Americas?
Oh man, well, I tell you what, it was an awesome treat as we popped into the broadcast and looked at the qualifying, and we seen your name on there and said, what a treat. It's always, like I said, it's always a pleasure to have you here racing in the America Series. Certainly entertaining, man. You and Marlon McMullen had an incredibly awesome battle back and forth there for position, but what a start, man. You started in second, a quick fall back to third, a really great pass for second, and then the work on Marlon McMullen. Like I said, incredible race, man.
Yeah, thanks, JD. It certainly was. I made an absolute meal of the actual launch off the line there, as I'm sure you all saw, and then missed the apex at 1, and then got hit by Shaun Kelly, my own teammate there, and nearly got turned around there. So it was a bit of a rubbish start, but I knew that our car wasn't that great on setup. We kind of threw it together, and it was obviously not too bad, but it just wasn't quite where we wanted it to be. So I did have really good pace there in the first few laps, and I knew especially at VIR, track position is everything. It's so hard to pass. So I knew if I wanted to have any shot at winning, I had to get to the front and control the race from there. And even as I got to the front, yeah, obviously Marlon and Ethan had phenomenal pace and were all over me, and I, had to look at the mirrors the whole time. And it's probably one of the most stressful things is when you you don't really have the pace, but you got guys behind you that probably do have a few tenths here and there over you, and to not make a mistake was really nice. And it was actually really cool to see Marlon and Ethan that quick. Last time I raced the Americas, those guys weren't as fast as that, and they've both come a seriously long way. They're both very, very fast, and
Oh man,
it'll be very interesting to see how they went in the Premier Series, I think. And I don't think that's going to be far away for them, because they're, that's phenomenal pace. Very, very good.
man, I'm glad you said that. Speaking of that pace, tell me about. Let's go to qualifying real quick. Tell me what went through your head. You saw Marlon McMullen on the pole. You went out there. You put down an insanely fast lap, and then here comes Marlon right at the end of qualifying, and 1,000th of a second quicker. That's as close as it can be without matching identical times. What went through your head there?
Yeah, I think I thought of an F word. It must have been fast. I think, oh, that's fast. But
That's right.
yeah, no, that was it was very close, very, very close. And I knew it was going to be. Marlon and I were in a practice session for the last hour and a half before it, and I could kind of see who I was chasing. I was kind of get a guide on where I needed to be, and Marlon was the pace man. So I got very close to him in practice, only a few hundreds off, and I knew with this new integrated qualifying that I hadn't actually done before, it was going to be close in quali. And I actually messaged Marlon straight after it and said I knew it was going to be close, but I didn't know it was going to be that close. So yeah, that was really cool, and obviously that set up what was a great race as well. I can't wait to go back and watch the broadcast of that one. I think it felt exciting from the car. So yeah, it should be good.
Oh, man. Well, thanks a lot, buddy. Like I said, it's always a pleasure to have you stop by and have a chat with us, man. Enjoyed watching the race. That was a great performance by all you guys, especially the top four. You yourself, Marlon, Shaun Kelly, and Ethan Grigg-Gault, all four put on a heck of a show up front, man. But congrats on the win, and we wish you the best.
Thanks, JD. Talk to you soon.
Absolutely, buddy. That is Madison Down, everybody, and congrats to him on the race victory. Let's talk to the guy that went with Madison all race long. Let's talk to Marlon McMullen, today's pole sitter. Marlon, welcome to the post-race show. How are you, bud?
G'day, guys. Not too bad. Sweating, but pretty good.
Well, I figured you would be sweating quite a bit there, man. An incredible race. Before we talk about the race, let's have a quick look back at qualifying pre-race. One of the big additions to this year has been the qualifying and the added excitement, and that has never been closer than today. You are sitting on the pole. Here comes Madison down and knocks you off the pole. You have a little bit of time remaining, and somehow, some way, Marlon, you put a lap down 1,000th of a second quicker than Madison down, and you are the new pole sitter. Tell me what went through your head when you saw that time click up.
I've got to honestly say, I didn't even notice Madison popped in the 802. That's an awesome time to him. Well done. I was on my hot lap, in the last sort of couple of minutes, and I was coming around and I came into the front straight, just as I was about to pop in that time, and I just had a look at the standings, and I saw Madison did an 8:02, and I'm like, oh no. And I was a tenth down off my best time, so I knew it was going to be somewhere in the eights. And then, I came across the line, and I couldn't believe it was 1,000th of a second. And then I was sort of like sweating for a second, because usually iRacing throws it back 1,000th of a second. So I was a bit worried it was going to be both 8:02 for both of us. So it was an intense quali.
It was very, very intense. One of the most intense that I've ever seen, and it added a lot of intensity to the broadcast. Now let's talk real quick about the race before we move on. An incredible jump. Just tell me about your race, man. Overall, you had an incredible battle back and forth with with Madison down, and then, of course, with Ethan Grigg-Gault near the end of the race. Tell me all about the race, man.
Well, I think you were right first. I had a little bit of a battle with myself towards it, and I was just in a struggle town. So before that, had obviously pumped up after the quali, and had a really good getaway. And I think Shaun and Madison might have actually hit each other in the turn one, and our teammates hitting each other. So sort of made a little bit of time on Madison when I could, and I'm not sure if Ethan got through or whatever the case was. So sort of just put my head down for the first few laps and really tried to plug away, and I just couldn't sort of dial into the pace that I wanted to, and I think it was at the end of the second lap I made a mistake out of the last corner, and I don't know what I did. The whole car was just like a pogo stick for like 10 seconds. I just couldn't get the thing under control. So Madison just absolutely blazed by me down the front straight. So, and I was just sort of sitting there behind him for a while, just sort of contemplating what the pace was and if I could make a move on him. And, and then I tried, because Madison's, damn fast. And, it's very rare that, ever get a chance to have a good battle with him. So I knew I had the pace today, and then I really sort of gave it a good shot. And it's just so hard to pass you, man. Every time I got that run onto the back straight with the super duper draft, I just, couldn't get it done into the sort of carousel area. And I tried everything I could. And unfortunately, towards the end, I started to lock up the brakes or something. And I don't know what happened. The tyres just completely failed at about lap 15, and I locked it up pretty scarily one time side by side with Madison, and then I locked up again, and I hit the rear of him, and I nearly gyrated into turn one. So I was really sorry to him about that. He knows it was an accident. So, but it sort of allowed Ethan through. So once Ethan came through, I looked up and I noticed Shaun was right behind me. So I sort of just tried to push on as well as I could, and really happy with today's result. Just a bit shattered. I stuffed it up,
Incredible run, man. Very exciting. And thanks for coming by and having a chat with us, Marlon. Incredible job. And that might put you, or should put you, in the points lead.
Yeah, I'm 19 points in the lead now. So I would have preferred to come first today. I couldn't believe Madison got 240 points for the win, and we only got 200 for third. That's incredible.
Yeah. Incredible, man. Great race. And thanks for having a chat with us, buddy.
Yeah, cheers, guys. See you at Sonoma.
Absolutely, man. Looking forward to Sonoma. That is Marlon McMullen, everybody. Driver, an incredible job by him today. And driver of the Grip TV, Holden. Fantastic job, Marlon. All right, let's bring in the guy that actually finished second, ran third most of the race. An incredible job. Let's bring in the driver of the Sim Pit, Holden, Ethan Grigg-Gault. Ethan, welcome to the post-race show. How are you, bud?
I'm doing great at the moment. How are you guys?
Man, wonderful. A second-place finish here at VIR. I ran an incredible race, man. Tell me a little bit about what it was like running behind Marlon McMullen and Madison down all race, and then all that action at the end.
I'll just try to sit behind them and wait for any mistake from both of them and just pounce on it. But yeah, it was hard to keep up with them. I was pushing as fast as I could, and occasionally I'd burn out the front tires, understeer like crazy, drop back a bit, change my bars, and then I'd be straight up behind them again. So yeah, it was a crazy race.
I think you're gonna like the broadcast. That's exactly what I was telling everybody. I said, I think Ethan's just sitting there waiting for them to make a mistake, and it happened eventually. And a good job for popping into second place. That was an incredible run with you and Marlon battling back and forth for that second position, and that was just a great finish, man.
Yeah, thanks. The battle with Marlon is probably one of my highlights of the season, I'd say. It was pretty good and clean racing, and I didn't quite expect to get up the inside where I did, which was the first pass, and then the next lap I happened to run wide there onto the grass and let him straight past again. But yeah, got the draft up on the back straight, just flew it right up on the inside and managed to hold on a second, so it was good.
That it was, man. Just a really awesome performance, and really excited. Well, we head to Sonoma next weekend, man, and I have never seen you run at Sonoma. Tell me a little bit about what Sonoma means to you, or how what it's like when you run there.
The only time I've raced at Sonoma was last season, and it's quite technical, like VIR, so I'm looking forward to running there next week.
We look forward to seeing you there, buddy. We wish you the best of luck, and as always, it's a pleasure having a word with you, Ethan.
Yeah, thanks. Have a good one.
You too, buddy. That is Ethan Grigg-Gault, everybody, driver of the Sim Pit Holden, and a wonderful job for him. Let's bring in Shaun Kelly now, the driver of the TTR Holden. Shaun, welcome to the post-race show. How are you, bud?
G'day, guys. Pretty good. How you guys?
Man, fantastic. Running in an incredible pace today, man. What is it like running up there with those aliens, and yourself included, and just an incredibly fast-paced race, running as fast as you could, normally would win a race, and it had you in fourth. Tell me about it.
Yeah, I was pretty confident coming into this week, and done some practice last night, and I was feeling pretty good. Just couldn't seem to wake up today, still having the sleep out of my eyes, but no, we ran the Road Atlantis set up from Pambury Series, and I think we struggled to understeer. Yeah, just about ran my teammate, done a Courtney on my teammate, and just ran him off the road at turn one. It's the second time I've hit him there, and but when I wasn't teammates, but was very lucky to get away with that, and I think it gave me, yeah, so I'll probably get heaps of crap from him for that for a while.
Hey, just throwing this out there, he did mention it in his post-race interview.
I'm sure he did.
He got the race win.
Things like that's going to happen from time to time, but I was pretty lucky to get away with that. And yeah, it actually gave me a bit of aero damage because I just couldn't quite keep up on the straight. And when I should have been there for opportunities on Ethan and Marlon, I was either not down the straight or I was just missing some corners. So yeah, fourth is not really what I wanted, but it was still fun, still pretty fun watching all them battle out. And yeah, we'll take it. Good track. I'd love to come back and do it again. This track actually, and yeah.
Oh yeah, this track put on an incredible venue for you guys to put on a show for us, and it was extremely entertaining. And now we head off to Sonoma, man. You are in an incredible point battle with Marlon McMullen. After today's results, it puts him 19 points ahead, is what I understand, which is, as you know, nothing. You can get right back on top of him at Sonoma. But it's all going to come down to that final race at Phillip Island, where we know that you have had tons of success in the past, and it's been a bit of a trouble spot for Marlon. So How does that put Sonoma as in your plans for next week?
Yeah, true. It is quite a points gap because it's a small field, so it stretched out the points a bit more, even though it's only one position behind. But yeah, Sonoma's hasn't really been a strong track for me. Marlon's been pretty good there. Marlon was super quick here today, and we should have been quicker, but we weren't. So yeah, I'll definitely have to I'll have to put some effort in next week and try and turn up, do a good job at Sonoma, and hopefully be alright at Phillip Island. But yeah, she's pretty tight. But yeah, we are done to Marlon and Ethan tonight too.
Well, I tell you what, buddy, really impressive performance. Enjoyed watching it, and we're going to wish you the best of luck next week as we head out to Sonoma. Really looking forward to that race, and we'll wish you the best of luck.
Yeah, thanks guys. Cheers.
Absolutely, buddy. As always, a pleasure. It's Shaun Kelly, everybody, driver of the TTR Holden, and another incredible performance from him this afternoon. Next, let's bring up to the show. Let's bring in Mitchell McLeod next. See if we can get a word with him. Mitchell, welcome to the post-race show. Do you have a copy? And he may be away for the moment, so I will bring in Michael Fulcher first. So, Michael Fulcher, everybody, welcome to the post-race show. How are you, sir?
Oh, I'm very good, thanks, JD. How are you, mate?
Man, doing wonderful, and it's good to see you. How was how did the car feel today out at VIR, a track that is the craziest place in the world for me? But good day for you, man. Finished 6th ahead of Marty. Marty had kind of a crazy finish at the end there. Tell me a little bit about the race.
Yeah, well, the car felt awesome, and I felt like I was driving it well, and I don't know why I didn't win. I guess it was because I was over a second off the pace. It just blows me away. These guys are flying. Car felt really well, really good. I felt like I was driving it well. Made a little mistake early on when I was in front of Mitchell and Marty. I got a good start and sort of jumped them. And made one mistake, let him through, and it was just a game of chase after that. I felt like if I didn't make that mistake, I could have made life difficult for those boys. But yeah, it was a game of chase from then. Boys are really fast. Well done to the podium.
Oh yeah, man, they put on a fantastic performance and a really tough racetrack to me. But anyways, man, a great race from yourself today, and really looking forward to seeing what's going to happen with you at Sonoma next week. What is Sonoma to you, man? Is it a tough track for you?
It's up there on my favourites list for sure. Yeah, I do. Man. I really like Sonoma. Yeah.
You don't know how happy that makes me. I love Sonoma, and one of the big important things for Sonoma with me is the cup configuration. Yes, I know it's what they run in NASCAR and blah, 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 but I love that track, man. I absolutely love it. And so when it's ever on our schedule, it's a treat for me. And so I'm glad to hear when any driver is up for it. I think it does wonders in this V8's supercars or V8 car. I just think it does a phenomenal job. Obviously, the stock cars do well there. They're similar build to the V8, so I think it's going to do very well. I think it's going to be an incredible race.
Yeah, I agree. I'd never seen NASCAR race on Sonoma until I'd raced it here, and then I watched a bit of NASCAR, but I'd never caught a race at Sonoma. And when I was watching it probably last year, I thought, man, geez, they've done a good job. It's identical. So good.
It is. It is identical, and I love hopping the curbs, man. Just bouncing off the curbs. It's so fun.
Yeah, SDC actually had a fun night there. There's a drag strip in the centre, and we had a night of drag racing and then a bit of drifting around the track. And really good fun.
Man, that sounds fun. It sounds like something I should have been there.
For sure, mate. Let's do it again.
Sounds good to me. Well, as always, buddy, a pleasure to talk to you, my man. We wish you the best of luck next week at Sonoma. Get ready and take care till then, buddy.
Thanks a lot, mate. You too.
Absolutely, brother. That is Michael Fulcher, everybody. An incredible job for him today with a top 10 finish as he finishes 6th here at VIR. Let's bring his teammate in for a quick word. No, let's see. We can bring in Mitch McLeod first. Mitchell, welcome to the post-race show. How are you, buddy?
Yeah, not too bad, guys. How are you?
Oh man, fantastic, incredible race we just got through watching, and a great one with you as well. Battled all race along with Marty Carroll. Incredible job. He raced one heck of a race, and right there with about a few laps to go, finally able to make that passing move on him to finish in 5th and get a top 5 finish in a group like this. Incredible job, man. Tell me about the race, how the car felt, and just overall day.
Yeah, it was pretty full on. I was hoping to find a couple more tenths in quali, but wasn't able to do it. I hadn't done enough laps to just get all my lines right. But yeah, off the start, I got a bit of wheel spin and bogged it down after overcompensating for that. So I lost a few places there, and all those SDC boys were all around me, so I was in a bit of a SDC sandwich. But yeah, it was pretty fun racing, especially after. I think Fulcher and Carroll went side by side into the last corner. That was pretty scary, and had a bit of car contact through the last corner into the first corner as well. And after that, just sat behind Marty for a little while, trying to get that run on him to make a pass, but it was just so difficult. He was really good off the corners, had heaps of drive. So making that pass, I just had to time it perfect and get everything right, and managed to do it. So it was a really good, intense battle.
Man, that it was, and like I said, at the end, you took over there and made a great top 5 finish. Now, next week, we head off to Sonoma at the Cup configuration, one of my favorites. And what are you looking forward to next week, or ready to go to Phillip Island?
Yeah, no, I'm looking forward to Sonoma. It's another track with lots of undulation and not much grip either. So if it's cold conditions there like it was at VIR, then it's going to be pretty hard setting the car up with no grip at all. So it always produces good racing there as well, just like VIR. So it should be an interesting one.
It does. So very excited about Sonoma next week, and looking forward to seeing who's going to do what there. As kind of just have guesses in my head, but going to see how that turns out. Just really looking forward to it. But overall, man, a fantastic performance, Mitchell. And as always, man, it's incredible watching you out there. The torque holding looked really good today, and we wish you well next week, man.
Cheers, guys. Thanks.
Oh, thanks a million, guys. That is Mitchell McLeod, everybody, driver of the torque holding. A fantastic top 5 for him today. And we look forward to seeing him next week at Sonoma. Let's bring in the guy he battled with all race long, Marty Carroll. Marty, welcome to the post-race show. How are you, buddy?
Fantastic. And you, Jody?
Man, I'm great. It's broadcast, or it's race night, man, and we just got through with a great one. Tell me about that. Let's just forget about the end of the race for a minute. Tell me about that run, man. Incredible drive out there today.
Oh, it's fantastic. Yeah, no, I had a very enjoyable battle there with Fulch, and at the start got a good start off the line and was able to jump Mitchell into turn 1 there and avoided turning Shaun around anymore. He got himself sideways pretty good through turn 1, and once we sorted ourselves out, I was able to capitalise on a mistake from Fulcher early on, and then I tried to head down, bum up, and outrace Mitch. And when it doesn't matter if you're racing stock cars, V8s, or open wheelers, it's always going to be exciting when Mitchell's behind you. So. I knew the car had it in it to be able to run with him. It was just I was glad I was able to turn up today. But and it's a good racing battle, and a couple of laps to go, he put a good move up into turn 1, and I went for the crisscross but couldn't quite get the traction down. But no, very enjoyable other than that. And obviously I pushed a little bit too hard coming out of the final corner and lost the spot there. But no, but all in all, I'm not too concerned about that. So it was, overall, the race was good, and it was good to see Madison here racing. Congratulations to him on the win, and fantastic race up front there with Ethan and Mo and Shaun. So, and well done to those guys for putting on a show there. So they got plenty of coverage on the broadcast.
Oh, man, loads of it. Can't wait for you guys to watch it. I know you listen as you drive, buddy. So I'm sure you heard my comments when you spun the car at the end. Tell me about the final turn there, buddy.
Well, it was one of Mitch's strong points on the track, and so I was able to pull in the gap on the final lap. and got within it a couple tenths, and so I tried to take Mitch's line, and I just got too heavy on the right foot, and as I got up on the ripple strip, I just left rear onto the grass, and around she went. I can't repeat what I was saying.
No, you don't have to, man.
Like, holy
I
this
can,
and holy that, and whoa, catch this. And,
I'm
like, don't go into pit lane. I'm banging it back into reverse. And
I could hear you all the way here in America, man, and I could hear you. I had to open the window, man. We could hear you on the other side of the world. Jeez,
it was funny.
Yeah,
it was pretty funny from my revision mirror. I give it to him.
It was slightly embarrassing.
That's what I was about to say. I wouldn't want to see it from Mitch's rearview mirror, man. It's just driving and
he was
you're
laughing
coming
at
down
me.
pit
He
road.
crossed the line and he was
Marty's
like,
taking a pit stop on the last lap.
he's trying to ask you what's wrong, and he's laughing. And I was like, yeah.
That's what I
But,
should have said on the broadcast. I should have said, "Oh, and Marty decides he needs a late race pit stop."
I want to get some fresh creds and go again.
It's a gas and go, man. Oh, too much
so
fun,
that
man.
embarrassing moment. Thanks for asking me twice about that, JD.
That's right, man.
Really
You know I got you covered, buddy. Well, thanks a lot, Marty. You know it's always a pleasure, buddy, and like always, happy to have you here. I wish you the best of luck at Sonoma next week. Really good race tonight, man. Very proud of you.
Yeah, thanks a lot, JD. Awesome job again, Kane. Fantastic job with the broadcast again this week, guys. Thank you.
Thanks, Marty.
Thanks a lot, brother. That is Marty Carroll, everybody, driver of the Simpit Ford Falcon. Let's bring in next up Tony Kloosterman, ladies and gentlemen. Tony is the winner of the second split. Tony, welcome to the post-race show. How are you, buddy? It's a pleasure.
Hey, JD, how are you?
Man, like I told them, it's race day. Incredible show, incredible race, and man, happy to have you here. I'm doing well.
Yeah, I saw the results from the first race there. It looked pretty close there at the front.
Woo-wee! It was a very tight race. Very, very entertaining. Tell me a little bit about your race, man.
Non-event, really. Dale Niche finished second to me. He was chasing me for quite a bit, then made a little bit of a mistake, went off the road a bit, and ended up about 26 seconds behind. So it was one of those non-event races, which is nice to have once in a while.
Yes, it is nice to have, especially when you're used to sweating and being under pressure all race long, and then you finally have a race where you can sit back and enjoy the drive, and especially like you, and walk away with a victory, man. That is incredible. We missed you in the top split, but I think you'd have rather been in that second split, taking the checkered flag.
Well, you never give up a checkered flag for sure, JD. But we'll get to that first split sometime soon, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, we hope to see you next week at Sonoma, man. If we get some people to a bigger field, it's a holiday weekend. It's also V8 Scops weekend, so we usually see the numbers are down just a few, not much, but 2 split night with smaller splits, and it was just an incredible race out there, man. And I'm sure that it was really good in the second split as well. And like always, man, it's a pleasure to talk to you, and we'll hope to see you soon on the track, man.
Thanks a lot, JD. Appreciate it.
Oh, absolutely, buddy. That is Tony Kloosterman, everybody, and won the second split tonight. And always try to bring everybody the info on the second split. Glad Tony came by to deliver the message tonight, especially because he won the thing. That's incredible.
Not just one, he dominated by 26 seconds.
Oh, my gosh. He left the 26 seconds out. Yeah, he did dominate. That is a Sunday drive.
Yeah, well done, Tony.
Yeah, man.
Thanks, Marty. Yeah, domination. I don't know about domination. I'm looking at the first split, and it would have probably put me around 10th place. So still a ways to go.
Hey, man, still not too shabby. Even if you'd had a top 10 today, it would have been well earned. These guys up here in the top split raced their butts off tonight. Very tight race. Well, guys, an incredible race. Here we are, post-race show. I think we're good for a little while to have a little bit of discussion. How has everybody been? It's Memorial Day weekend. It's the biggest race weekend of the year. I'm excited. I call it the biggest race weekend of the year. I'm sure everybody else does. We have 3 big events: Monaco, Grand Prix, which I can't wait for. It'll be on at 7:30 a.m. in the eastern U.S., which is where I'm at. Then we have the Indianapolis 500 in the afternoon, followed by the Coca-Cola 600 on Sunday evening. Very, very exciting. I am going to do nothing but pop a top and watch racing on Sunday. What are you guys doing?
What do you think? Let's hope that it's very safe for all three of those races. And, obviously Indianapolis this week, it's been not the best of weeks for Indy. And certainly I feel for my fellow countryman, James Hinchcliffe, but he's up and walking around today, which is a very nice thing to see. That was a horrific accident, and we wish him all the best.
Tony, that was a scary incident, and I am very happy to hear that. I was very concerned about what the Indy guys are going to do. That aero package obviously having some issues. What have they decided? Are they going to do about the race? Have they done nothing, or just hoping for the best? What's the kind of the story there?
Well, they made some changes to the aero package last weekend, and Hinch's accident wasn't due to the aero. It was a mechanical failure on his car with the front suspension failing. So today they ran carb day, and everybody looked to be safe and fast. So hopefully Sunday will be the same way.
Man, fantastic. Love the Indy 500. There's nothing quite like it. And I can't wait, man. I love it. Love the Indy 500. Love all of them. Really looking forward to Monaco this year. I think it's going to be incredible. And of course, the Coke 600 is it's always fun. It's the closest thing NASCAR has to an enduro race. It's about a 4.5 hour race. So it's a long race, a little bit of an endurance race for NASCAR, and looking forward to that. What do you? Anybody got any big plans this weekend, or just do some sim racing and watch some racing on TV?
Got a 21st to go to tonight, so I might be probably a little bit hungover for the racing, I think, on Sunday. So yeah, no, it'll be a good weekend for me for sure with all that racing, and then yeah, the party I'm going to tonight. Looking forward to it.
Well, have fun at that party, man, and get good and hungover for the races. That way, you get stuck on the couch and have to watch
them.
Yeah,
you got an excuse. You can't do anything else.
That's right. That's what I was about to say. That's what I do to make sure that I'm able to watch the race. That's great, man. Anybody have anything they want to bring up? I know we got V8 Scops this weekend, which is big. Where are the guys?
It's not this weekend.
It's not this weekend. I thought it was this weekend. I apologize.
I was looking for the information about it. Usually they make an image that says where they're at and how many laps and stuff like that. I was looking for it and I couldn't find it, but I did ask in the deal, is V8 Cups this weekend, and I got a reply saying it was, so I was assuming it was. But I guess it's next weekend that the V8 Supercars online Premier Series is at COTA.
Yeah, Circuit of the Americas. I just thought it made sense. Memorial Day weekend, Circuit of the Americas. It just all made sense. But anyways, next weekend. So that way you guys get a lot of kind of a stress-free weekend. Those that race in the online Premier Series. Remember to subscribe to V8's Online, guys, for everybody watching the broadcast. And remember, like I said, just subscribe, and that way you'll know when all the new broadcasts pop up for the V8's Online's Premier Series, as well as the V8 Supercar Americas, and so we guys can enjoy that. But no, guys, I guess we can kind of keep it. What you got, Shaun?
I was going to say, yeah, the good thing about how they set up the Premier Series this year was they tried to make it on weekends where there's no real life motor racing. So, like I say, this week we've got Indy 500 and everything else going on, so there's no Premier Series. So yeah, so they tried to do it on the off weeks to give. Yeah, which is great.
Yeah, that means nobody's got an excuse not to watch all the great racing that's this weekend.
No,
yeah.
When we're not racing. I'll put a JPEG link there for our Memorial weekend livery we're going to run this weekend in the NO Series.
By the way, Marty, yeah, that is an incredible paint scheme. Kane, if there's a way you could put that JPEG up on the broadcast, that is an incredible paint. Very, very awesome. If there's a way that I could get that paint, I would love to run that, Marty. That is.
In Dropbox, I'll send you.
Yeah, just shoot me an email like you normally. That's an incredible paint, man. Very,
Yeah, we got one
very
for
awesome.
Ford and Chevy and Toyota.
Yeah, it's
So
really
big,
cool.
Big shout out to Stefan Nubis for doing that. We also, if you go to the SDC fan page, we did a SpongeBob SquarePants delivery for
Yes.
SpongeBob 400 of Kansas the other week. So it's big shout out to Stefan for keeping us in the theme of
So-
in the world of NASCAR.
So, Marty, what's up with you were running the Squidward, man? I mean, not
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I had the Squidward paint and Stefan and Sam ran the SpongeBob, so we definitely got all the characters in.
Dude, that was hilarious. I saw that. That is a really cool. I thought that was neat. I thought NASCAR did a good job with that. The SpongeBob 400, and they had the front stretch wall was painted up like SpongeBob. It was yellow with the little sponge dots all over it, and then on the grass all the way through 1 and 2 Kansas Motor Speedway, they had painted the grass like all the different SpongeBob faces. I thought they did a really neat job with the SpongeBob 400, man. It was really neat because, I mean, let's face it, when you get a sponsor like that, it's a lot of people are going to laugh at it, but I thought NASCAR did a fun job with it, man. They made it a really fun event, and they did it. I thought they did a good job with it.
Yeah, definitely, and it's family oriented. Anything motorsport is generally family oriented. Like I'm involved heavily with drag racing over here in Australia, and it's all about family.
Oh
And,
yeah.
So it's sort of. I thought they did a really good job with it as well. It's quite a cool trophy. I'm sure.
Yeah, man, that is quite the trophy. I'll be honest, out of all the trophies that you win in NASCAR, I'll take that one other than the Daytona 500 or the Brickyard 400
Yeah.
trophy. I'll take that one.
Oh man, I like the clock.
You'll take the Martinsville grandfather clock?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty cool too. Well, guys, like I said, man, we can keep it kind of a short week. Just very impressed with all the racing tonight. I'm very, very impressed with this season in general.
SpongeBob is up on the screen.
Oh, we got
Thank you,
SpongeBob.
Kane.
Let's see if Kane can throw it up
Yeah,
on
he
the
did.
screen. Oh, he already did. Sorry. Yeah, we keep
Yeah.
we keep Kane busy, and I guess I
That's
should.
quite cool paints.
Yeah, big thanks to Kane. He runs everything you see on your screen, and I mean everything. All I do is run my mouth, and so big shout out to Kane for all the hard work he does in this broadcast. If it wasn't for Kane, there would be no broadcast. So thanks to him, and thanks to all you drivers coming out every week for the post-race show and talking with us. And it's just fun, man. We enjoy it. Love the America Series. And like I said, we haven't had our All Jacked Up show in a couple weeks. It's been about 5 weeks we haven't done it. And we are going to get back to that soon. So if you're watching the broadcast and you listen to our radio show or podcast, whatever you want to call it, All Jacked Up, we will be doing one very, very soon. So the show hasn't been canceled. It hasn't run away. It's just, been on a little hiatus, and it will return very, very soon. So be looking forward to that. I'm sure that we'll be talking about all the things happening this weekend on this very exciting race weekend. That's all from me. Does anybody have anything they want to throw out there before we close out tonight's show?
Are you coming back next week, Madison?
It depends if I wake up before midday.
We could set an alarm for you, man. I can give you a courtesy call like I've had to do.
I was gonna say, get a wake up call, send someone my phone number or something, and just get a whole bunch of sim races ringing me in the morning. But yeah, no, I woke up early today, and as I said to Shaun earlier, I hadn't been in the simulator for around about 2 weeks, so yeah, just wanted to jump back in and keep my eye in and have a bit of a race, and I'm glad I did. It was good fun.
Yeah, no, it's glad to have you back out on track there, mate.
Oh, it was great to have you here, buddy. Really enjoyed having you here, Madison.
Cheers, guys.
All right, guys. Well, I guess that is it from tonight here at VIR. An incredible race. If you got here late in the broadcast, don't fear. You can rewind it once we close it out. It immediately loads up to YouTube. So you just got to wait a little bit and watch it back. You can watch it from the beginning. I highly suggest you do so. It was an incredible race all the way from the start. Even in qualifying, don't skip qualifying. You're not going to want to miss that. And that's all from us tonight, guys. I want to thank everybody again. Thanks to all the drivers. And congratulations to Madison Down on taking the checkered flag. And you guys get ready for Sonoma next week. You're not going to want to miss it. From V8's Online, I'm JD Smith, Kane Kraft with me. Y'all have a great night. We'll be back next week.
Contact free.
Close. Let's have free.
A little bit of contact there from Scott. He busts his way past.
Contact. Look at the back. McMullen just has to cross over this crest.